Well, welcome. My name is Karen Schatzline, and my husband Pat Schatzline and I are evangelists, authors, and CEOs of a business. And so I have welcomed everyone onto this call, all the women that I know who are serving in whatever capacity, whether it be in full-time ministry or whether you are a Sunday school teacher, a public school teacher, janitorial staff, kitchen staff, office staff, whatever area you are serving in, you are impacting lives. And so I just want to say to you today, we welcomed you on this call because we want to be able to share, myself along with Audra Richardson and Sheila Fricks, who you'll be meeting here in just a few moments. We want to share with you because we have found that being in full-time ministry or part-time ministry or whatever, our busy lives, we know that each one of you are so valuable, that each one of you makes such a big difference. And I just want to thank you for being on this call and making the first step and coming on here to find out how you can take back your health and be in a position to run your race strong. Because I know just from experience that we as women, we wear so many hats. We wear so many hats that we can't keep up half the time. We're always serving, always giving. I'll never forget because when my husband and I first started traveling as evangelists and I flew for one of the first times, I remember sitting on the airplane and the flight attendant coming on, preparing us for takeoff. And she said this statement that so bothered me at the time. She said, in the event of an emergency, put your life mask on you first and then put it on your child. And the first time I heard that statement, it really bothered me. And I thought, are you crazy? There's no way I'm going to put the life mask on myself first. I'm going to first take care of my child, because isn't that what we do as women? We always put everybody else first. We always want to make sure everyone else is taken care of. But in that moment, I had a realization. If I take the time to put the mask on my child first, I may lose oxygen and I'll perish, and there will be no one to take care of my child for the long run. So in order to be able to properly take care of, for the long run, my children, my family, the ministry that I'm in, I have to first take care of myself. And that's something that is very hard for us as women. And, to be able to put ourselves first, we are taught from the time that we are really young that we have to be selfless in everything we do. And that is such a great thing. But here's the deal. There is one area that you can be selfish about, and that's your health. And we want to talk to you about that today, because I want you to know that all three of us women that are here talking today had come to a crossroads in our life where we realized that we were not being as effective in anything in our families and with our children, with our ministries, with our work, any of those things, because we had let our own health start to diminish. And we came to this place of realizing that there was something better out there for us, better for our health, better for our finances, better for our family, better for our marriages. And we took the step to make a difference, not only in our own life, but in the life of everyone else that we come in contact with. So I want to get started. So if you are new to this, if you're just jumping on, or maybe somebody invited you, at the end, I want you to reach out to whoever invited you on this call, because they cared enough about you to share this call with you. So we're going to get started, because we're going to try to keep it to 30 minutes because we know how valuable your time is. And we see you, we see how busy you are, we see all the things that you're doing, and we want to make this 30 minutes the most impactful that we can do. So we want to share with you health. And so I'm going to invite on Audra and Sheila, and we'll invite Audra first. And I'm going to have them each share. They just did for just a moment, but now that we're recording, I want Audra and Sheila to just take about 1 minute and share about just who they are. Because I want you to see that we're real people, that we have real lives. And so before I do that, I'll just tell a little bit about myself. I'm Karen Schatzline, and as I said earlier, I'm an evangelist, an author, and a CEO. I am a wife. I'm a mom of a 27-year-old son and a 16-year-old daughter. That is a massive gap there. So I feel like my daughter keeps me young most of the time. But I'm also a grandmother. Gigi. I prefer to be called Gigi because grandmother just sounds old. So I have a 4-year-old grandson and a 2-year-old grandson. And the truth is, up until about 3 years ago, I found it very difficult to keep up with that family and to keep up with the schedule that my husband and we travel every single week on planes every single week, and writing and ministering at conferences, conventions, women's conferences, traveling overseas. And about 3 years ago, I had a hysterectomy about 7 years ago, and I began to put on weight, and I began to be tired and sluggish and waking up in the morning with no energy and just didn't feel good about me. And so about 3 years ago, my husband was dealing with some things with high blood pressure and acid reflux, plantar fasciitis, and he had put on some weight, and he found this plan that completely revolutionized our lives. And so I just want to show you this real quick picture. This was us before and after, the before and then after. And we found this way to take back our health that not only restored vigor and vitality and, made us feel 10, 15 years younger, but I was able to keep up with my 16-year-old. I was able to keep up with my grandbabies. But I also gained a confidence that I didn't have before that allowed me to step through doors in ministry, that allowed me to step out in areas that I wouldn't step out in before. Because after having the hysterectomy, I just thought that, I'm 50 years old, and I thought that at this age, I've earned the right to kind of be tired, and I had earned the right to put on weight. But the truth is, that was just an excuse. And when I realized that there was an answer for the things that I was walking through and the weight gain and the exhaustion, I could have energy. I could be purposeful again and all that. I jumped at the chance to do that. And so when we took back our health, it changed everything and changed the whole dynamic of the direction that we were going and the abilities that we had. And so Audra, if you'll come off of mute and you'll just kind of share really quick about who you are and let the women hear you.
Absolutely. Well, I'm Audra Richardson. My husband and I have been in full-time ministry for almost 20 years. We were youth pastors for 10, and we've almost been lead pastors for 10 years. And my story is very similar to Karen. I found myself a mom of 2 teenagers trying to keep up with a really hectic schedule with ministry, mom, life, kids and sports. My son plays football and just running every which direction. And I was tired. And I really got the mentality in my head that I guess it's just normal to be tired and overweight because most of my girlfriends were. And so I just thought, this is just the way it is. So let me show you my picture. I love these before and after pictures. So this was me before, and this is me after. I hope you can see that. This girl over here was tired. She was lacking confidence. And let me just tell you, since I have lost 30 pounds, it has not only just transformed me weight-wise, but mentally. I have been able to step forward and lead in a better way. I actually went from being that pastor's wife that served and stayed in the background, really supported my husband, to now I speak on Sunday mornings several times a year, which the old Audra would have freaked out about. I lead women's Bible studies weekly, so it's changed my confidence because I don't worry about how I feel. I'm comfortable in my skin. I have tons of energy. I feel amazing. So it really has been a great thing for me.
I love that. I didn't mention my husband actually lost 72 pounds and I lost 24 pounds. And at 50 years old, I feel better than I did in my 30s. And I wouldn't go back for that to the 30s because I feel like now I've been given a whole second chance at life. It's just amazing. So I love that, Audra. And you have made such a difference and you're helping other people do that now too. So Sheila, if you'll come off and you'll kind of share a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Sheila. Thank you all for joining us today. It's such an honor to be here. My husband, Keith Bricks, and I have been in ministry for a little over 30 years now. We served as youth pastors for 18, and now we've been lead pastors for almost 13 years, where we're presently serving in Alabama. Alongside of this, which some of you may also do, I have also always had an additional job. I was a supervisor at Costco for 3 years. Excuse me. And then I was, or have been, a teacher for the past 27 years with about 7 were in elementary and 18 were in middle school math. Well, it's been a busy life serving and wearing many hats. And in the year 2017, in all honesty, to give myself a raise, because teachers had not had a raise in almost 10 years, I decided I was going to get my master's and do it in a year. And so life got even crazier, if y'all know crazy life. And in the same year, my daughter got engaged. My oldest daughter, I also have 3 children, 25, 23, and 20 now. And I was becoming very busy, but very exhausted. I didn't know how I was going to keep on going. And I'll never forget a February month. My husband and I just finished, honestly, pigging out at Cheesecake Factory. And I looked at him and I was like, honey, we have got to do something. I don't like the way I feel. I'm exhausted. We have a wedding in 5 months. I'm doing a master's and on and on. And I said, but you're going to have to do it with me. And we both found this incredible plan. We jumped on it. And it was the easiest, healthiest thing I had ever done. In about 10 weeks together, we lost 70 pounds. He lost 35 and I lost 25. And I remember 3 weeks in going, I just feel like a different person. I feel like I have energy again. I can do this. I can walk and not feel like I got to go home and take a nap. But I have loved this journey, and like Audrey and Karen both have been saying, it's not only been a health journey, but in this journey, I have found a new mindset. I've been able to dream again. You know, in ministry, so many times those dreams with life begin to lay dormant, and I've been able to dream again too.
See, I love that, because you know what, that's something that happened for me as well, because whenever I didn't want to do some diet. I didn't want diets. I mean, we all know, diets just fail. That's just a deprivation of food and everything. I didn't want to diet. I wanted to be healthy. You know, for me, it was never about being super skinny or being a super skinny model type or anything. My philosophy has always been to be healthy, fit, and strong. And so those are important things for me. I don't care if I wear a size 2. I don't care about, any of those things. What I care about is that I am healthy. I am strong. And if you can see my shirt here, I am fearless. I want to be fearless in everything I do. I want to have nothing holding me back. There are you women on here, you came on here because you have dreams. You have purpose in you. There are things that God has placed inside of you, and you think, how will I ever accomplish those things? Once I took back my health, I felt like I could conquer the world. I felt like I could conquer whatever mountain that was put in front of me. I say all the time on the Breathing Room, I created this Facebook Live program, the Breathing Room, but I say it all the time, sometimes your mountains aren't meant to be moved, but conquered. And how are you going to conquer those mountains if you're not healthy enough and strong enough to conquer those mountains? And so if we're going to have to conquer some mountains in our life, we better be fit enough, healthy enough, strong enough to make the climb. And so sometimes we've got to go higher in our life, but our health holds us back. And so when I took back my health, there were so many dreams and purposes inside of me that I felt like for the first time in my life, confidence-wise, I had the confidence to step out and do the things I never thought about or thought that I was capable of doing before. And like I said, it wasn't about getting skinny. It was about being healthy, because when we take back our health from the inside out, it affects every area of our life. It affects our mental clarity. It affects our confidence level. It affects our strength level. It affects our endurance to be able to persevere and everything. There's some of you women who are watching this, and I'm so glad that you're on here, because you're sitting back and you're thinking, that's all great and everything, but what about me? I'm tired. I have so many things on my plate. I have so many people pulling at me. I have to work 3 jobs just to make ends meet. How am I going to take back my health? Well, we want to share with you that. That's the whole purpose of this Zoom today, is we want to share with you, because our heart, and I know it's Sheila's heart, I know it's Audra's heart, that our sole purpose is to see other women that are serving, that are giving so much of their time, so much of themselves. Our heart is to see you thrive. You are never meant to just cling to life and just merely survive your days, survive your months, survive the year after year in the rat race of doing everything. You were meant to literally thrive and to soar and to reach things, reach heights and goals that you never thought were possible. And that's what we want to talk about. So what each one of us did is we were introduced to a plan that literally changed our life. Not a diet, not a diet. We were introduced to a lifelong health transformation that is so easy to attain that when you apply it to your life, that literally, that not only are you taking back your health, but weight loss just naturally follows, because when the inside gets healthy, then the outside will show and will manifest the health that is taking place on the inside of us. So I'm going to ask Audra, because what we did was a health plan, and we do want to share that with you, because if you have a gift, I mean, women, we love to give gifts. We love to receive gifts, but we love to give gifts. And if you have a gift that changed your life, because we all love to serve, because we're all in that capacity somehow, you know, serving in life, serving in community, serving in ministry. If you had a gift, would you not want to share it with everyone? Would you not want your sisters? Would you not want your tribe of women that you are doing life with to experience that same freedom, that same confidence, that same joy, that same purpose, that same vigor and vitality? Because you know what? Strong women are women who lift each other up, are women who share hope with other women. And that's what we want to do. So I want to ask Audra, because this is a health plan that we want to share with you. And I want to ask Audra to come on, because she's going to tell you just a little bit about the company, because I think it's important for you to hear that this is a company that you can trust. And I would like to preface it by saying that Pat and I are authors and evangelists, and we are under contract with a publisher. And so we had never done anything like this before, because we had never put our name on anything. But when we saw the difference it made in our life, we naturally wanted to share it with everyone. And so we asked the person who coached us to start coaching our family members, and they looked at us and said, no, you coach them. You've experienced change, you coach them. And so we were like, we don't have time for that, but okay. You know, so when we realized that we have been ministering to the spirit, the heart, the healthy mind and heart of people for so long, for 29 years of our life, we've been ministering about the mind and about the spirit, but we had never talked about the body. And we realized that we have a gift to offer people to help them, lead them into the presence of God, lead them into conquering mindsets and everything. But we also have something to offer them that would help them with the body part. That's the one area in ministry that we never talk about, because so many times in ministry, we use food as a reward. We use it as we work so hard. That's the one thing I can do. Everything else in life is a sin. Food is the one thing that's not a sin. So we always abuse that one thing, and we don't take care of the body. But this is a plan that helps you in every area. So Audra, would you come off and would you just share with everyone just a few minutes about what the company is all about and how Integris, and that's what I was going to say, with what we do and everything. We would never put our name on anything that was not completely integrous. And actually we couldn't, because of our contracts with our publishers, without it being checked out, and know that this is a company that not only helps people, but that cares about people.
Absolutely. So you're probably wondering, what is this amazing company that you guys are talking about? And the name is Optavia. And our parent company is Medifast, and they've been around for over 38 years. We're rated A+ on Bloomberg's. And the reason why I say these details is just like what Karen was saying. We know how important it is as women in ministry that we tie our names to things that have integrity. And this company is absolutely that. It is integrous, and it is a wonderful company. And so it was founded by Dr. Anderson. Under Medifast, he created Optavia to help us with healthy habits, to create something that wasn't just a diet, but that was a transformation for life, just what we're talking about. We know diets are short term, but a health journey is something that we go on for life, and we want to transform our mind, because most of it happens up here, right? And when we get this straight, then everything else falls in place. And so that's what Dr. Anderson created, an amazing system to help us with that. So I'm going to talk real quick about 4 pillars that we kind of are the foundation of our company. So the first thing is that you're going to get a coach. Yay, you don't have to go this alone. I know for me, that was huge. Karen was my coach. I could reach out to her anytime I needed help, felt weak, maybe was having a hard day, or even had a great victory, and she celebrated with me. How many of you know it's much easier to go on a transformation journey, a health journey, if you're not doing it alone? So you're going to get that coach. Another thing is you're going to be joined to an amazing community. So that is probably my most favorite thing about Optavia is the community. We love one another, support one another, encourage one another. And there are actually groups that you can be joined to on Facebook that will support you along the way. So you have your coach, you have an online support group, then you're going to probably be introduced to people in your community that live close by that will support you as well and help you along your journey. And then you're going to have the habits of health that Dr. Anderson created. And this is such an exciting time because we now have a brand new book and workbook that your coach is going to go through with you to help you transform the mind. And then you're going to have an app for your phone so it can help you with the program. Those are great ways to help you succeed. And so Dr. Anderson has made a really fail-proof system if you do it. And that's where your coach is going to come in and help you. Coaches can't do it for us, but they certainly can do it with us and help us along the way. And then part of the program is Fuelings. And all of our fuelings have 24 vitamins and minerals. They have 11 grams of protein. So as you're eating, they keep you satisfied. And I say this, you start to get the Optavia glow, because when you start to fuel your body properly, you literally start to look healthy. Your skin looks healthy. You have energy and you just radiate health. And so that's just some basic information about our program. And Karen's going to tell us more about those fuelings.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. But you know what I love is that you mentioned the fuelings last, because it's not about food. It's about taking your health back. And I love that one of the things I truly love is the community. Like you said, you get to join a private Facebook page, client support and everything, where you get all kinds of encouragement and tips. And so I love that. This company truly does care about people. And basically the plan, it is a meal replacement plan, but it's not to get you hooked on food. It's to get you to a point where you are at your best, the best version of yourself, to get you to that healthy place so that you can then transition into just eating on your own and eating 6 small healthy meals a day on your own. So it's not about getting you hooked on food. It's about transforming your health. And so basically what it is in the morning, you're going to have that health coach who's going to walk every step of the way with you, because we have found that without someone walking with us, most time we as women, we won't do it. And so having that accountability buddy with us, not to bug you, but just to encourage, to be there, to answer questions for you. And each one of those coaches are a certified health coach that have went through a program and have their certificate certifying them as a health coach. And so they will walk you through that. So basically you would order a kit of the food, and then you would, in the morning on your first day of your plan, your program, you would start by getting up and weighing and measuring. because I guarantee you, and taking pictures, because I guarantee you'll want to compare those pictures in about a week or two later, because you will be a totally different person. I mean, have any of you ever went on a diet and you, in about a week or so, you lost a couple of pounds, but then when you looked in the mirror, you lost it in every area that you didn't want to lose, but you didn't lose in areas that you wanted to lose? Well, this is not that diet. And so this is a plan where you're going to go into a gentle yet effective fat burning state, and your body is literally burning its own stored fat cells for energy and for fuel. And so you'll get up in the morning after weighing and measuring and taking pictures. You're going to get in touch with your coach. She's going to, or whoever it is going to walk with you and get you started. Within the first 30 to 45 minutes of waking up, you are going to eat your first meal. And so after that first meal, you're going to, every 2 to 3 hours after that, you are going to eat. You are going to get fueling every 2 to 3 hours. You're not going to be hungry. I don't know about you, but I was one of those people who, I don't want to be hungry. When I'm hungry, I'm not a very pleasant person. So dieting was just not a question for me. And so, but this is a plan that the food is wonderful. It tastes good. It has so many vitamins and minerals. It has protein. So you're not going to be starving. You're going to be satisfied because your body's getting the nutrients that it needs, not just depriving itself of food. You're actually getting nutrients. And so you're going to eat every 2 to 3 hours until you've had 5 of those meals a day. And then you're going to have one lean and green that you prepare yourself. And the company has such an easy layout for what that lean and green is going to be. Like, your coach is going to give you all kinds of tips and recipe links and eating out guide. So when you go out to eat, you don't have to stop going out to eat. You can look up that restaurant. It'll tell you exactly what's in their menu that fits the lean and green meal. And so the fuelings, 5 fuelings, 1 lean and green meal a day. And then you're going to drink half your body weight in water in ounces, or at least 64 ounces of water, because I'm telling you right now, until I started this plan, I was dehydrated. I never got enough water. And so you're going to start hydrating your body, which is going to be what Audra talked about, that glow. Your hair is going to be healthier. Your skin's going to be healthier. I'm 50. I don't feel 50 because I'm hydrating my body, and that's going to keep it young. And so after drinking the water, you're going to try to get 7 hours of sleep a night. And so, and some of you might be sitting there thinking, there is no way I'm going to get 7 hours of sleep. But trust me, when you start fueling your body properly, you start drinking the water that your body needs to hydrate it, you are going to start sleeping so much better. Here I am at 50, I know, in menopause, but yet I'm sleeping better than I ever have, and I'm feeling better than I ever have. And so that is basically how easy this plan is. Plus, you're going to have a coach that's going to send you tips every day, that's going to walk with you, that's going to celebrate with you, because you know what? It's not just about weight loss. It's about every little victory that you experience along the way, about the clarity of mind, about the different things, the things you're able to do, the energy, we went hiking for Pat's 50th birthday, and, hiked up this really high mountain, because at this point in our life, it's all about conquering those mountains. And so I want Sheila to come on, and I want her to talk to you, because that really is how simple this plan is, and you will lose weight. I've coached women in their 70s. I've coached women in their 20s. And so is Audra and Sheila and everyone who's invited you on this program today. So at the end, I want you to reach out to whoever invited you onto this Zoom today. But Sheila, if you'll come on and you'll just kind of share a little bit more about the company.
Absolutely. What I want to share with you is what some of you may be thinking, man, this sounds great. Is there any cost to it? The cost is so cost effective. It only runs about 13 or 14 bucks a day, which for many of us is a wash, or you even save money. I know I was going through the drive-through many times during a day, sometimes just for a coffee at Starbucks. But it's very cost effective. The first month you join the plan, they even give you 5 boxes free, which is almost a week's worth of food. It's awesome. And whoever invited you today, sometimes we offer scholarships. There possibly could be a scholarship available. You could reach out to the person or whose page you saw this on and just ask about that possibility. And value, talk about value. It's not just the food. You get the coach, the community, you get learning the healthy habits, an app on your phone. It is an incredible value, and you are worth the investment today. And go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, that's absolutely right. You know what? And the one thing that I noticed is, I mean, just like you said, I mean, there were days where one trip through Chick-fil-A and one trip to Starbucks for one meal cost way more than that, you know, that daily amount for us. And we actually save money because, you know, sometimes we look at that in the big picture and we think, oh my goodness, there's no way I could do that. But in reality, we saved money because we weren't buying all that stuff. If you're on a budget, you realize that your budget just got a whole lot better because you're getting 5 meals a day for that $13 or $14. Plus you get the habits of health. And right now, I think Audra mentioned it, like we have a brand new app that you get with that, that's a health app that Dr. A is on the app, Dr. Anderson, who created the plan, and your coach can actually be a part of that app with you for daily reminders and everything. And so I love that. And I love that, you know, that this is a program that is sustainable for life. It's lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. And I think that's something that we always think that we have to become healthy in just like overnight, but it's not. We didn't get unhealthy overnight, and we're certainly, you know, not going to just instantly, you know, get healthy. We have to realize that it's a process, but this plan speeds up that process, puts us in a gentle fat burn state to where literally by about day 3 or 4, most times I get a text or a call from the people that I coach and they go, oh my goodness, I have so much energy. I don't know what to do. I just cleaned out my closets. I just like cleaned out my kids' rooms, the toys, I just don't know what to do. I can't take a nap. I can't, you know, because when your body starts burning fat that it has stored for so long and it's burning its own stored body fat for energy, that is a great feeling. And so what's great about that is it doesn't stop. As long as you're in that fat burn state, you will have that energy and you will have that just the ability to do things and everything. I have coached a woman who was in her 70s and needed to lose 100 pounds. And she told me one of the things that she never had the confidence to do was to get her license to preach. And she was 70. And so I was like, well, let's do this. You can do this. And so she lost 100 pounds. And when she lost 100 pounds, she called me and she said, I just finished all that I needed to do to get my license to preach. And I'm going to be walking at district council, you know, it's for where all the ministers come together and receive her license to preach. But what I also loved was that same woman, she actually called me one day and she said, I just saw my grandson for the first time in a couple of months. And I walked in and he was playing video games on the TV. And she said, I walked in and he kind of glanced over at me and then glanced away. And then he did a double take and looked back and said, oh my goodness, Grandma, is that you? I didn't even recognize you. She said she began to weep because that was how much of a difference that this had made in her life, that her grandson didn't even recognize that she was the same person. And the joy that she felt was just beyond anything. But you know what? I think one thing that Audra, if you'll come off real quick, and will you just share a little bit? Because I think one thing that each one of us did when we took back our life, when we took back our finances, when we took back our, you know, health, and we're able to step beyond where we had always been hindered before we took back our health, is we made a decision that we were going to pay it forward. And we made a decision that this was not something that we could keep to ourselves. And we all made a commitment that we would share this with as many women as we could so that they could experience the same thing that we're experiencing. Will you kind of share a little bit about that, about how that's changed your life in helping other people?
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Coaching has been a huge life changer for me in so many aspects. Excuse me. As I was losing weight, Once I got to about the 20-pound mark, all of my girlfriends and friends at church started saying, what are you doing? Because let me tell you, everybody is looking for something. They're desperate for an answer. So it just came natural for me to start sharing about what I was doing. And I shared it with Pat and Karen. They said, you really should consider being a coach. And I was like, okay, I'll try this. And let me tell you, it has transformed me as a leader. It has transformed our finances. You know, my husband and I are full-time ministry, and I've always worked right beside him, and I've never been able to go get a full-time job outside of that. I've done part-time things here and there, so I never was able to be a huge financial contributor to our household. And so we, a lot of times, were check-to-checkers, like most ministers are. You know, we don't get into ministry to make money. We get into ministry because it's a passion, it's a calling, it's who we are. And so when Optavia came into my life and I was able to begin coaching and start to bring a stream of income, I was so surprised at how natural it worked with ministry. When you're already used to sharing with people and loving on people, it just transfers right over to helping them with their health. But because it is that one thing in the church that we've kind of overlooked, we don't even know how to deal with it. We know it's not good to be overweight. We know that maybe we're not in a healthy state as a church, but we don't really know how to deal with this. This gave me a tool to help people. And we have literally seen our church transform and get healthy. And it has been amazing. Now get this, and I know most of you know ministers don't get a lot of benefits at their church. So literally I had no retirement, zero. I was able to take for an entire year, put my paycheck in retirement to catch up from those years that I couldn't. It has turned into a huge blessing. So not only was it practical in the fact that it's so helped us financially, and I love the fact that I can now come alongside and really be a help to our finances and our family. But I got to do something kind of fun. So once I took care of the practical stuff, I have always wanted to drive a Mustang. And so when we got that taken care of, I bought myself a brand new 2017 Mustang, and that is my car. That is my grocery getter. And I have so much fun. And it's also a tool to talk about God wants to bless us. He doesn't want us living totally in poverty and from check to check. He loves us and wants us to be healthy and successful. So, oh my goodness, I could keep going on, but it has totally changed my world. And I love coaching.
See, I love that, because you know what? When Pat and I started coaching, we had given all of our retirement and given it to start a church plant. And we gave it to our ministry, you know, to just further the mission. But when we started coaching, and I would just like to say, you don't pay your coach to coach you. No one pays you to coach, but the company blesses the coaches for giving their time and coaching people. So when you become someone taking back your health, all you're doing is buying your food. The company believes so much in providing a coach that they will bless a coach for helping you. And so you do get blessed. And so Pat and I were able, when we started to coach, to build our retirement back up so that we have a retirement. But you know what else we were able to do? My happy place is the beach. So many of you have heard that if you've watched The Breathing Room. But that's where we've always gotten God ideas, where we wrote our books and everything. And one year we were at the beach and God spoke to us and said, you know, I'll give you the keys to the kingdom. You know, if you'll walk in obedience, if you'll walk in purity, if you'll walk in, you know, what I'm calling you to do, I'll give you the keys to the kingdom. And we actually, at that moment, the wave rolled in and there was a key laying in the beach, in the water. And we brought that home as a symbol. But we were in a condo at the beach that summer. And God showed us that. And then right after that, you know, we found this plan to take back our health. But what's so cool about that is because we've been so blessed, and as Audra mentioned, taking care of the practical things first, because we're to be good stewards of our finances, taking care of all the practical things first, paying off debt, paying, you know, getting our kids through college, and we're putting our son through his master's and then his doctoral, you know, degrees and everything. And so, but on top of that, God was so amazing and blessed us so incredibly through coaching that we actually bought the condo 2 doors down from where he spoke to us and said that he would give us the keys to the kingdom. And he gave us a place, a haven, to where we can go and write and hear from him. And so God wants to bless you. You are called to be blessed. You are called to serve, yes, but there's nothing wrong with you being blessed. And, you know, the Bible tells us that we are a kingdom of priests, that we are called to be kings and priest, not one or the other, that we can be both, that you can serve in ministry, but you can also have other streams of income. And that's what God's done for us, because, you know, my husband always says that. I give him credit for this because it's totally him. He always says that an honorarium or a paycheck on Sunday does not determine the dream on Monday. That God will, we were praying one time because we had so many dreams and visions of what God wanted us to do. And we were praying, you know, for God, send us a benefactor to fund the vision. And one day God spoke to my husband and said, why don't I make you the benefactor? Why don't I make you the one who can fund the dream that I've given you? It's the dream I've given you. So I'll give you a means to fund it. So that's what God wants to do. Not only take your health back, but help you be able to provide for your family. Sheila, why don't you tell them real quick about how coaching has helped you?
Yes. Well, real quick, just to try to sum up what's happened in our life in the last 2.5 years. As I said, we immediately fell in love with this plan. In 3 weeks, we were like, I just have to share this with others because this has been the biggest transformation in the shortest amount of time outside accepting Jesus as my Lord and Savior. And so immediately we started coaching. We reached out. Pat and Karen have been our coaches, and we reached out to them and said, we want to do this. We want to help others. I've tried other diets, you know, and this one just works for me and my lifestyle. And so we did. And again, 2017 was that very busy year for me. I was doing a master's in 1 year, didn't know my daughter was going to get married. And, but she did in the summer of 2017. And I'll never remember, we always begin January with a fast. And so 2018, we began January with a 3-week fast. And I was just putting before the Lord. We were at a point financially that, just like they had shared in other ways, we had become strapped. We had taken leaps of faith with the Lord in our journeys many times. And life happens. We've had 2 kids that have had brain surgeries. Things began to pile on credit cards. And before we knew it, with the wedding, with doctor bills, with moves in ministry, we were a significant amount of debt in debt on our credit cards. And I remember during that time of prayer and fasting, just putting it before the Lord and going, Lord, if I have to teach, I'm young, 50 years, I'm young. And I said, I'll teach 15 more years, you know, if I have to, you know, and I wasn't, you know, whining, well, maybe I was, but I just remember going, God, I didn't see a way out except just to keep working on an additional job that we had always done. And, but I was like, I feel good. I can do this, you know, but, I just began praying more over our business too than I had in months past. And I woke up one day and I said, Keith, in March 2018, I said, honey, I have had a dream. I said, I'm not sure this is from God, but I'm writing it down. I'm journaling it. And it was that in 18 months, we'd be out of credit card debt. And again, in all reality, this was like about a year's salary for me. No, nothing taken out. And I was like, I'm writing it down. I don't know how it's going to happen, but if this is God, it will happen. And you know what? 15 months, not 18. He does exceedingly abundantly above what we could ask, imagine, or think. And in 15 months, we were a year's salary out of credit card debt. Praise Jesus. That happened in June this year. But not only that, with dreaming, I've always dreamt to be able to run right alongside. I've always, if you know me and you're on here, you know I've always been actively involved in ministry, but I've always had ministry outside the home too, as in teaching. But I've always dreamt to being able to be right alongside of Keith all the time, visit, you know, do all these visitations. And exceedingly abundantly what we could ask or imagine. In June this year, I resigned 27 years of teaching and am able now to run hard with ministry, run hard with our business. I never dreamt I'd be over a business, but again, that was a dream, an entrepreneur that was inside Keith and I that we didn't even know was there. And we are loving it.
See, I love that. You know what? There's some of you on here. There's so many people on here, so many women. And our heart truly is, I think all 3 of us just kind of get overwhelmed at our desire to see women succeed, to see them overcome, to see you conquer, to see your dreams fulfilled. There are dreams inside of you. And if you could only imagine, excuse me, I'll get a little emotional. If you could only imagine that there is so much more out there for you. There's so much more than just surviving. And the first step we want you to take, if you're watching this and you want to take back your health so that you can be the best you can be for yourself, for your family, for your community, for your ministry, then I want you to reach out to whoever invited you on this Zoom, whoever's post you saw. I know there's a lot of people who posted about this. Whoever it is that gave you this information, reach out to them because they have an answer. They can help you. They can walk with you. They can coach you and be there for you. But also, if you not only want to take back your health, but you also want to take back your finances, you have that entrepreneurial dream, there are giftings inside of you. There are talents inside of you. There is a CEO in some of you that is just waiting to burst forth and to provide for your family while being able to be fully present with your family. And I think that's one thing that this company does, is there are so many women who are a part of this company who have not only took back their health, but now they are able to be fully present moms, fully present wives, fully present CEOs, fully present ministers, all while helping other people get healthy and also providing for their future, for their kids' future. We're supposed to leave our children's children an inheritance. And how can we do that if we don't run our race strong and to prepare and to be a blessing, not only now, for future generations to come? So I just want to challenge you today. Thank you so much for being on this call. I'll let each lady just give some final thoughts real quick, and then we're going to end the recording. Audra, Sheila, do you have anything you want to say?
It's truly life transforming in every way. And I just, you may feel like, oh my goodness, I don't even know where to start. But like Karen said, just reach out to the person that invited you to this and let's talk. Let's talk and let's dream together about what the possibilities are, not just for your health, but for your finances and for your future. So this really is a turning point, I believe. Today could be a huge change in where you're at. You'll look back from today, maybe next year, and go, wow, that was life transforming. I'm so glad I was invited to that meeting.
Sheila? I think you're on mute, Sheila.
I just want, okay, are we good?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to challenge you today and just tell you that you are worth the investment. Again, as Karen just began earlier, just saying, so many times we put others before ourselves in ministry, and just as women, you know, we are constantly serving. God, you know, gives us that gift of servanthood and just loving others, but you are worth loving. God's got so much for you, and you have a race to run, and it's an enduring race where you need the strength and the endurance to run it well and be able, you know, just to be able to say, I finished strong. And God's got some dreams inside of you that he wants to awaken again. They might be dreams you had in childhood. That's what happened to me. God renewed and revisited me with dreams that I just let be buried inside of me. And so I challenge you today to go for it.
Absolutely. And you know, I also health mentor in my life, one of the ladies that has mentored us in health, you know, I heard her say, you know, where do you see your future self? Where do you see yourself in 10 to 15 years? And if you could say anything to that woman, what would you say to her? Would you tell her, would you have to apologize that you didn't take the step to take care of yourself now? Or would you be proud of all that you've done and the ability and the strength and the endurance and the stamina that you had to do it? That you stepped out in confidence and did something that literally changed the trajectory of your family and your life. So I just want to tell you, thank you for being on this call. We truly see you and we see how valuable you are. You are valuable. You are worth it. You matter and you make a difference. And we want to see you make that difference for years and years and years to come. And we want you to feel great doing it. So whoever invited you on this call, just reach out to them, get on a phone call. They would be happy to help you. And just don't wait, don't delay. If you're waiting for tomorrow to make a difference, you're missing your moment now. So just reach out to whoever invited you on this call and just tell them, I'm ready to take back my health, and I'm ready to do something that is bigger than myself. So we love you guys.